Fair Game Radio, Shoutcast, Music Shows, Lemon Party.
What?
Alright gamers, welcome back to week 2 of CGI, Heroes of New Earth. My name is Triumphant Man, and joining me tonight in the studio is Blood and our new caster. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me along. Just Maximus. Really looking forward to this game tonight.
Awesome. So Blood, how are you feeling about this game tonight?
Yeah, it should be a good one. Both teams are pretty evenly matched and should see a lot of good action out of this match.
Okay, well I'm just going to call out the bands. Just call out the teams at the moment. We've got Cash Money Heroes versus Giraffe Hunters. Cash Money Heroes starting on the Legion team, and I'm just going to call out the bands. We've had Dr. Repulsor get banned by Spot the Aussie, then followed up by Giraffe Hunters banning Kraken. Now, Giraffe Hunters ban Kraken a lot. I'm not sure why. Not a ban I'd pick, but they ban Kraken consistently across their games. So there we go. They just do that. Spot the Aussie has banned Thunderbringer, and then Half-Assed has banned Pandemonium. So guys, any thoughts on these bans, particularly the Kraken ban?
Oh yeah. The Kraken ban's probably just to not counter their team. That's what I would do. Yeah, just pick Kraken so you cannot counter your team, I guess.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, Kraken's a powerful hero, especially after the rework. A very large AoE damage with potentially a stun if executed correctly. Some good early game nukes, and that harassing ability is very nice, similar to a Gladiator Whip. Very hard to last hit against, and very strong in a lane. So, especially if these guys are thinking of running a tri-lane, you probably wouldn't want to have someone who has such good lane power against you.
Fair enough. And the bans continue. So we've got Spot the Aussie banning Soul Stealer, and then Bubbles getting banned by Half-Assed, and then Spot the Aussie banning Bombardier. So, interesting. I think we're just waiting for one more ban to round out the bans from Half-Assed. But I don't know. Kraken's a good hero, but honestly, I don't know. I think there are better picks to really look out for. But if you're confident, I don't know. Do you think they just don't like Kraken in particular, or you don't like Kraken facing Kraken either?
Oh well, personally, obviously I've had a couple of bad experiences against Krakens, which no doubt is probably the same deal with their team in particular. I'm gonna guess that a couple of them have had a couple of bad games where Krakens have sort of dominated and really controlled lanes and even late game. Yeah. So as you say, there of course there are stronger heroes out there, but we'll see how they pick and see might be revealed.
Fair enough. With Half-Assed rounding out the bans with a Pebbles ban as the final ban. So we go into the picks, and Spot the Aussie has first picked Wretched Hag. So now we're just waiting for the Giraffe Hunters to counter pick. I'm just going to call out the players here. Playing for Cash Money Heroes, we have Spot the Aussie, Rusty, Bob for the win, Dark Slayer, and Blue Bear. Now I've seen some of these guys play. The only player I haven't seen for Cash Money Heroes play is Blue Bear. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. As Giraffe Hunters pick up Flint Beastwood and Swiftblade, and I'll just call out their players. We've got Half-Assed, Strike Force, TNT Your Mother, TNT Get Ripped, and Your Butt Is Big, playing for Giraffe Hunters. So, Blood, what do you make of these picks for Giraffe Hunters, the two carry heroes picked up early?
Yeah, that was a good pick there with the Swiftblade pickup, and I'm not sure why didn't the Cash Money Heroes ban Swiftblade, because he can be really strong late game and mid game.
Well, Maximus, any thoughts on the Giraffe Hunters pick so far?
Oh well, as Blood just said, Swiftblade, very strong carry hero, really good early game and all the way through to late game meta. But Flint Beastwood, personally, I've never been much of a fan of as a carry. He has some utility with his slows early on and quite a fair bit of auto attack damage with the Hollow Point shells. But I've always found him to be one of the heroes which doesn't really have much survivability. So I don't see him as much of a hard carry in most games because he's very easily countered.
I believe he's still popular in Chinese Dota with the Dwarven Sniper, but yeah, he's, as you say, not got that much utility in the HoN scene. But I'm just going to move over to the Cash Money Heroes picks. They've picked up Myrmidon, which has been swapped. Rusty has swapped Myrmidon for Wretched Hag, and Bob for the win has picked up Glacius. And then going back to Giraffe Hunters, they picked up Witch Slayer and then a Hammer Storm. So they've got a lot of stuns lining up on that team. So I'll be able to disable. So what do you make of the team so far? It looks like Giraffe Hunters are going for the heavy disables, Blood.
Yeah, that's right. We saw Giraffe Hunters pick up the Glacius and the Hag and the Myrmidon, sort of similar to their draft last round in the first week. So yeah, they've got a lot of potential there with the Myrmidon Carp in the field, a lot of chain stuns, so should get some heroes taken down pretty easily with that.
Yes, well, Cash Money Heroes playing on the Legion team with the Myrmidon, Glacius, and Wretched Hag pick up. We're just waiting for them to pick up their their 4th and 5th heroes. So looks like your butt is big. He's trolling with a scout pick, but honestly, Maximus, what do you make of the Giraffe Hunters lineup? They've got a fair bit of late game power there. I mean, even if they're not the hardest carries in the game, if the game drags on, Flint Beastwood, Hammerstorm, and Swiftblade are all quite dangerous getting into the latter parts of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I'd have to give the late game so far to Giraffe Hunters, but early on there's quite a lot of disables for Cash Money Heroes. So as you said, Hammerstorm can be very powerful, especially late game when he starts to pick up some damage items and starts to get that ult off and can, a very strong pusher as well. Very, as you say, Flint Beastwood and Hammerstorm, very powerful together as well. I'm not sure how they're going to be running these lanes. How do you think?
Not quite sure. Well, actually, just calling out the Legion picks, they've picked up Pharaoh and Magebane. So obviously the Cash Money Heroes having a much better early game potential, especially with some really strong initiation between Hag and Pharaoh. But I think the Cash Money Heroes are going to go for a fairly standard tri-lane setup. They're going to have Hag solo mid, Pharaoh solo against a tri-lane by himself, and they're going to have Myrmidon and Glacius support Magebane in the tri-lane. As for Giraffe Hunters, I'm not quite sure yet. Still waiting on their last pick. And looks like your butt is big is trolling with a scout semi-picked at the moment. He hasn't decided what he's going to go with. If they were going to run a tri-lane, I'd be guessing it'd be Hammerstorm, Witch Slayer, and Swiftblade at this point, and just use Hammerstorm as a roamer, much Andromeda style, just have him roam around the map going for early kills. But really, I'm not too sure about their lineup at the moment. Maybe if because I mean, Hammer, if they do have Brown, your butt is big, pick up another support hero to go on a tri-lane, I can't really see Hammer soloing that well. What about you, Blood?
No, Hammer's not really a solo hero. It'd probably be Flint Beastwood, and they just picked up a Voodoo Jester then, so he'll be definitely in the tri-lane.
Actually, I would just say they might throw him solo now that they picked up Voodoo Jester and gone for the tri-lane with that, because last time they played against Cash Money Heroes, they had Hammerstorm solo mid. However, last time they did it, Cash Money Heroes had Devourer soloing mid. So I guess they're hoping that Pharaoh is going to go mid because Hammer could potentially go up against him. But if he goes up against Hag, he might have a hell of a lot of problems. What do you think, Maximus?
Well, yeah, I'd actually be betting on Hammerstorm going solo mid. Having Flint solo and Voodoo Jester, Witch Slayer, and Swiftblade tri-lane that's a very powerful tri-lane. Especially early on with the Curse Ground and the spin with the stun. I would sure they'd be picking up some early kills. In saying that, again, Myrmidon, Glacius, Magebane, also a very strong tri-lane. But I can't, again, with Magebane, I've never been a huge fan of Magebane as a carry for the same reason as I don't think Flint Beastwood is the greatest carry. I just think he very easily countered with his low health pool, and early on he's not very powerful at all. But he definitely, with a good farm, which hopefully he'll get if he's tri-laning, he can be a huge threat late game.
Indeed. Looks like Cash Money Heroes are rolling out for a 5-man gank at bottom rune. They're all going down there. So far, there is a monkey headed to top lane. Spot the Aussie's monkey is going up to the top lane and it's been found by Swiftblade. It's now being chased down and killed by Swiftblade. I'm not sure what the hell Cash Money Heroes were doing there. Oh wait, I see they've got 2 monkeys. Apparently, Spot the Aussie and Bob bought a monkey. So now they're down 1 monkey. They had 2 monkeys and now they've got 1 monkey. I don't know, guys. That was kind of odd. What do you reckon?
I'm going to say what seemed to have happened from what I could gather was that Spot the Aussie was meant to upgrade the courier and accidentally ended up buying a new courier altogether and placing it on the ground. So there you go, Hammerstorm's going to get picked off right off the start there. So there you go, paid a little bit of dividends, got the gold back for the lost courier.
Yes, indeed. That 5-man gank working, although Pharaoh almost screwed it up with a badly timed mummies. Fortunately, Magebane was able to run him down there as Hag picks up an invis rune at bottom. So, I don't know, both teams seem to have been making a couple of early mistakes. Really, Hammerstorm and Witchslayer should have been scouting that out rather than just sitting there and then getting jumped on. But as we see, we have indeed got a tri-lane rolling out bottom with Glacius, Myrmidon, and Magebane. And it's Flint Beastwood mid, so it looks like Hammerstorm is going to solo... Oh, sorry, no, it's not. Wait a second. Hammerstorm's bottom. It's going to be Swiftblade soloing bottom, maybe? Soloing top, sorry. With Voodoo Jester is now heading top. And Witchslayer is getting pounded in the bottom forest there. Looks like he's taking a bit of damage. He was trying to set up a ward to block the pull. He managed to get it off, but then got harassed for his trouble. So this is interesting. Giraffe Hunters going for a 2-1-2 setup. Blood, what do you make of this?
Yeah, Hammerstorm, I don't know, he probably didn't think he could take on the Hag mid, so he just opted for the bottom lane. And we just see Voodoo Jester coming up here top, just roaming around, pulling some creeps for Swiftblade, doing nothing much.
This is interesting indeed. I mean, they could possibly just let Swiftblade solo his lane by himself, because I mean he shouldn't have that much of a problem against Pharaoh. What do you think, Maximus? Do you think they should rotate Voodoo to bottom and just leave Swiftblade to farm on his own?
Oh, surely, definitely. I think it's just a huge waste of a very strong tri-lane with Voodoo Jester by putting him up with Swiftblade. Pharaoh, obviously a strong hero, but Swiftblade shouldn't have any trouble with him as an other melee hero. Not really any harass going out at all. And as you can see up there, he's just sort of free farming away as it is. Pharaoh just sitting back, a bit worried about the Voodoo Jester. Maybe that's why they put him. Sort of just have him as a bit of a presence to keep Pharaoh back a bit.
Fair enough. Well, I'm looking at mid. It looks like Hag is getting harassed pretty badly by Flint Beastwood, although she's pumping up the nukes now, knocking him back down, so they're both sitting around half HP, as it looks like instead they've rotated Witchslayer to top, so they're going to tri-lane top instead, and they're going to leave Hammer to solo against a tri-lane by himself. I don't know how that's going to work out, as Pharaoh's now just firing some rockets around, just trying to interrupt Voodoo's pull there. So what do you make of this, Maximus? They're pulling out the tri-lane up to top instead of letting Swiftblade solo.
Yeah, I can't agree with the way they're playing this at the moment. Swiftblade definitely a stronger carry than Hammerstorm. Leaving Hammerstorm to solo against the tri-lane as is probably isn't a great idea. And, reducing Swiftblade's farm up there, I mean, Pharaoh's playing it very safe, so he's not going to get picked off by the look of things. As I said, I mean, Swiftblade was already getting free farm with one player, then with two players, and now three players, he's still getting the same farm, so it's not really helping anybody in any way. Whereas Hammerstorm, on the other hand, is having a lot of trouble doing much down there by himself.
Indeed, as Hag is getting pounded in mid by Flint Beastwood. Flint Beastwood, having picked up an early bottle, he was scouting around for the 2-minute rune, but didn't manage to find it, as it looks like possibly TNT, your mother's ward, hasn't managed to spot the rune. He might have just placed it a little bit badly there, and you're right, Hammerstorm looks like he's having a bit of trouble there, although he's not doing too bad, though. Glacius is level 1. He's been out of the lane. He's just been pulling. And Myrmidon's sitting at level 2. It looks like Hammerstorm's not doing too badly. They're not harassing him very much, although that might change as Hag is coming bottom. She's bottled an illusion rune. So it looks like it's going to be a 4-man gank on Hammerstorm if he's not careful. Although, no, he's seen Hag with that ward there, so he's okay. He's just backing off, playing it safe. He's going to be fine. But, Blood, what do you make of this action down at bottom? Would you have put the Hammerstorm down bottom by himself as well?
No, I wouldn't have. I would have had the tri-lane bottom with Hammerstorm and leave Swiftblade to solo top against Pharaoh, because Pharaoh's not doing much now. He's just trying to push him back with his rockets, but not doing a lot of damage.
Well, I know we're saying that Giraffe Hunters should probably split the tri-lane up and just let Swiftblade solo bottom, but I think the same goes for Cash Money Heroes. At the moment, Magebane has been solo farming against Hammerstorm without a problem. I mean, Hammerstorm hasn't been harassing him or anything, and his supports have been completely out of lane. They're still out of lane here. They're both level 2. We've got Myrmidon and Glacius both just level 2. They haven't been in the lane, so really these guys could be doing a bit more. They could be going mid, helping Hag out against Flint because she's not winning at the moment. she's getting smacked around pretty bad. So if they had these two supports just roam a bit more, because like Swiftblade, Magebane doesn't need help at the moment. He's fine. He doesn't need them to back him up, so they could go off and do something useful. What do you think, Maximus? Do you think they should break their tri-lane up as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, as you said, the Magebane isn't having any trouble down there against Hammerstorm at all. They're both just sort of, you know, I mean, if they're going to have that tri-lane down there, they should be doing something with keeping him back. But at the moment, they've both been in the jungle, just pulling creeps, and Hammerstorm, due to this, is just getting a more or less free farm. Now, both the creep spawns were warded, so the creep pulling was all more or less wasted time. So they've ended up not really achieving much with that tri-lane down there. So again, there we go. Now they've counter-warded that ward. But top, still nothing's happening with Voodoo Jester and Witch Slayer. I mean, they're sort of they're keeping him back, of course. He's not really getting much farm, but again, he wasn't really getting much farm with just two of them there. As you said, they could be helping mid.
Well, as we said that, Myrmidon, Spot the Aussie took his Myrmidon and went mid and actually got a gank off on Flint Beastwood, so that was good work. I think that was the right thing to do, and they should capitalise on that and just keep doing it, because really, Magebane doesn't need help. He's already level 6. Hammerstorm's level 4, so he's perfectly fine. As a haste rune has spawned at bottom, Myrmidon's going to pick up that haste rune. No, he's just scouting it out. I think they're waiting for Hag to come along and pick it up, because she's level 6 and with an empty bottle and low HP. So I think Hag is going to come out and pick it up. As Flint Beastwood is headed top again, I don't think that ward from TNT Your Mother spots the rune there. As Flint Beastwood just checked the top rune, didn't find it. As Pharaoh and Voodoo Jester are clashing up top, just harassing each other. But Hag is coming back to mid with haste activated. She's bottling up, getting ready possibly to jump on Flint. I'm not sure, as she just comes forward, drops a nuke. Flint trades a nuke back, so they're both smacking each other around. Although Flint has the mana, she's got to look out, because Flint has the mana for a full combo, I think. I'm just checking, 175, 120. So yes, Flint has enough mana to combo, so Hag needs to watch out there. Just looking back at bottom, Hammerstorm, again, only level 5, not doing so hot. Flint Beastwood just Magebane just farming away there. So, Blood, I'm not sure about this. I don't think supports from either team are doing a whole lot. We haven't seen any replacement wards really come up. We've seen one ward at bottom from Bob come out, and then Giraffe Hunters haven't set up any more wards. Neither team has upgraded the courier. So do you think, Blood, support should be doing a little bit more to support their team?
Yeah, they should. And I was just looking before then at the creep kills down at bottom. We got Magebane on 40 creep kills and Hammerson only on 6 creep kills. So he's not really doing much at bottom lane, as we see him moving now to middle lane, possibly trying to get a gank onto Hag. But he has no boots, so Hag should get away from him.
That said, Hag has no boots either, but she can just blink out of it. It looks like Hammerstorm is coming mid to support, but I'm just trying to have a look at the tri-lanes, the relative gold income. Magebane sitting on 353 gold per minute, and Swiftblade a little bit behind on 294. I think that assist gold from the start might have helped out. Although, actually, sorry, Magebane got the first blood, so of course he's going to be a bit ahead. As we've got Flint Beastwood finally getting a rune, bottling that illusion rune at top, and now heading back to mid. As we said, the support should be doing some more support work. It looks like Cash Money Heroes have upgraded their courier. Still no... Oh, wait, here we go. We've got a ward. Flint's been given a ward from TNT Your Mother. Hasn't set it up yet, though, but it looks like he's planning to get it set up somewhere. As Voodoo Jester is rotating to mid, so it looks like they're going to try and gank Hag with Hammer there as well. Maximus, do you think they're going to get this, maybe?
I don't think so. Hag seems to have seen it coming, so he's hanging a little bit back. Myrmidon's around. They might be catching Voodoo Jester here, but a poor blink by Wretched Hag ended up, there we go. He will be going down though. As we were talking about before with the fish, the Magic Carp and the Weed Field, with people standing still for the Magic Carp, they're getting hit by the Weed Field. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if you're getting hit by the Magic Carp, you're still taking the full damage and the stun from Carps, so the best thing to do would be to only get hit by one of them rather than both.
Yes, rather than getting stunned by the Weed Field. Although, I'm thinking he might not have actually seen Hag coming. We saw that bad blink by Hag, but unfortunately Myrmidon rushed up with the waveform and then managed to get both his spells off. I think Voodoo Jester possibly wasn't paying attention to his screen. I'm not sure there, but maybe he was just standing still for the cup. As I hear a Witch Slayer stun come out, looks like he was doing it to aggro the creep, just trying to pull them out into the lane. although it doesn't work out for him. As we've got Voodoo Jester coming after Myrmidon there. Myrmidon gets the magic cover off and then smacks Voodoo Jester in the face, stuns him. Voodoo Jester decides it wasn't such a good idea and backs off there. So I'm just looking at the bottom lane. Magebane free farming his eyes out. We've got him sitting on 370 gold per minute now, as Hag is sitting on level 7, also Flint Beastwood level 7, but it looks like she's being kept back by Hammerstorm, who's standing up there guarding. But honestly, I think Giraffe Hunters should try and do something about Magebane, because he is just farming away with no problems there at all. Voodoo Jester is trying to annoy him, but really he's got a sustainer, he's got an iron buckler. They're not going to. Voodoo Jester alone is not going to be able to do a whole lot. As Hag gets hit by a stun from Hammerstorm, but Hammerstorm gets hit by Magikarp, then gets hit by Weedfield and Glacius' ice imprisonment. Hammerstorm goes down, but Myrmidon goes down as well, and then Flint Beastwood gets hit by Hag's ultimate, gets ulted by Pharaoh as well, and he's getting chased down here. Pops his bottle, pops his power supply. Almost gets away, but then Hag blinks on top of him and screams him down. So, Blood, what did you make of that? Quick action there, quick counter ganking.
Yeah, it was. We saw the TP come in there from Pharaoh to clean up the Flint Beastwood there. It was a good counter push. Counter gank there by the Legion team.
Do you think they should be doing a little bit more of that? Do you think Giraffe Hunters should possibly be getting a little more active, Blood?
Yeah, they should be. They should come down bottom and try to stop this Magebane farming. He's currently sitting on 1,800 gold with 65 creep kills. So he's got a quite nice farm.
I don't know, Maximus, we've got both carries here farming pretty hard. We've got Magebane on 66 67 creep kills, and then we've got Swiftblade on 65, so they're pretty much tit for tat. So, but if this goes late game, which one of these carries have you got your money on to really out carry the other team?
Well, personally, I'm always much more of a fan of Swiftblade as a character. I just think he has more utility, especially as this starts to move into late mid-game here. I'm just really thinking that, as you say, Giraffe Hunters should be doing something about this Magebane down here. These Witch Slayer and Voodoo Jester aren't doing a whole lot here, except for pulling stacking creeps for Swiftblade later on. You don't really need those two people here when they could be down there stopping their Magebane from farming. Hammerstorm, as we talked about, was down there by himself, only 10 for 6, so very low creep kills considering Hammerstorm needs a little bit of farm, especially if he's intending on semi-carrying or even hard carrying later on. Again, Magebane's still down there free farming, and Giraffe Hunters aren't making any move at all to go gank him. It just doesn't seem.
Doesn't seem, yeah. As we've got some action happening at the top there, Pharaoh goes down to Swiftblade, managing to catch him out with a spin, and then he ults Myrmidon, but then he gets cancelled by looks like Waveform. I'm not sure what happened there. That looked kind of weird. I'm not sure what happened there, guys. Did you catch what went down? Oh, sorry, as we keep going though.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Yeah, Swiftblade went for the ultimate there, but Myrmidon, I think he must have clicked away with the wave surge away just before he went to ultimate, and only hit him once, and he cancelled it.
No, it's kind of weird. Maybe the waveform took him out of search range or something. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yes, the waveform is similar to a blink, it appears, in that it actually disjoints abilities like that. So basically, as soon as Swiftblade ulted, it seemed as though Myrmidon was actually not trying to disconnect the disjoint the ulti, but rather just get out of range of him. And seems to have gotten lucky in that in the time between the swift slashes, each slash, he got a distance far enough away that it wouldn't, because it has a certain distance that it can actually jump. I guess because it's nighttime, he must have gone into the fog and disjointed.
Yes, we saw some action happen there. So we saw some action there. Pharaoh initiating in on Flint Beastwood, catching him out, Hag moving to ult, and then the stuns coming from Hammerstorm. So both Hag and Flint Beastwood going down in that melee that just erupted in mid there. So interesting to see what happens there. But I'm just looking, Voodoo Jester also getting quite low, getting sent back. But I'm not sure if that was a badly timed attack from Pharaoh or just a good counter gank from Hammerstorm and Voodoo. What do you think, Blood?
Yeah, the Pharaoh then just got a bit unlucky. He didn't really time his ultimate that well, and they could have got a couple more kills in. Yeah,
I'm just rolling around. Looking at the creep kills, well, actually looking at the GPMs, we've got Magebane sitting on 383, And then Swiftblade sitting on only 353, so they're pretty close to each other. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top late game. It looks like Hammerstorm has pretty much just rotated him in. They're saying Screwbot, and they're just letting Magebane farm as much as he wants. Magebane has a very, very early Ruined Axe here as a pause comes out, but we'll just look through the items. We've got Magebane with a Ruined Axe, and I'm just going to look at Swiftblade. He hasn't finished his Ruined Axe, although he's opted to rush some Ghost Marches first, but he's quite close. Swiftblade is quite close to finishing his Ruined Axe as well. But guys, is Ruined Axe, like both heroes seem to be going for Ruined Axe fairly early. Maximus, is that what you would have picked in this scenario?
Well, Swiftblade, always a very strong pickup, Ruined Axe early on, but with Magebane, I tend to actually think attack speed and, you know, Shield Breaker or certain other types of damage bigger pickups, because he's not really sort of a big AoE fight kind of character as opposed to Swiftblade. He's more of a chasing hero that you really want the sort of attack speed, and especially with that mana drain, you want to be attacking nice and quickly to get the people's mana down so that his ult's effective.
I guess he picked it up as a farming tool, but honestly, I don't think he needed it all that much in this game, because he's being left alone to farm all by himself. He's not having any problems at all. But I'm just looking at mid. It looks like we've got Flint Beastwood, Voodoo Jester, and Hammerstorm stacking up in mid. And then on the Legion side, we have Myrmidon. Still only level 5, that Myrmidon, and Wretched Hag in middle. So it looks like we might have a bit of a conflict erupt in a few seconds. But I'm just looking at the levels. We've got Myrmidon on level 5 and Glacius on level 4. On the other hand, the supports on the Giraffe Hunters, we've got level 7 for Voodoo Jester, and Witch Slayer is level 6. So they've both got very important ultimates out. Whereas it looks like the supports are quite under-leveled, quite under-farmed, so won't have as much impact on the Legion team. So it looks like both teams quite happy to play it fairly passive. Neither team wants to get it out here. As I'm just looking, both teams have warded the Legion Ancients and just spotting the rune there. As Flint Beastwood bottles a regen rune. But up top, it looks like Swiftblade is pulling a triple stack camp there as Pharaoh just checks him out. Although just fires a soul at him just to try and steal his creep there. Gets a couple of them. But it looks like he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. As we're coming back to mid, now we've got 3 players per team at mid. We've got Glacius joining the Legion team at mid. I'm not sure if either team is going to try and make a jump on it, but it looks like the Legion are going to play this one fairly defensive. They're hanging way back while the Hellborn are getting up nice and close to getting their farm on. No, I think if these guys want to be here, they need to, you know, do something or just back off and go and do something else on the Legion team, because they're really not doing a whole lot. What do you think, Maximus?
Oh yeah, I agree. It seems at the moment as though the Hellborn team here are getting all the creep kills, getting all the knives, pushing the Legion team back, while there's 3 people on 3 people on the Legion just sort of sitting around, not being able to do a whole lot. As you can see, they're sort of just sitting at the tower. The only thing I can think of is they're here in some sort of form to try and keep distracting them from Magebane, who still, as of this game, has not had any attempt of being ganked at all. But speaking of, looks like we might have some action coming down on Magebane now, but he'll be spotted. They'll be spotted by the ward, and he'll get right back.
Yeah, and at top then we just saw Pharaoh get taken down by the Swiftblade quite easily, and that's a good kill there by Swiftblade. He's evened up the levels now with Magebane, both of them on level 11, and both with their Battle Furies.
Speaking of action at top, Magebane has come ported up top and takes down Swiftblade easy as he plays, just smacks him down, just blinks in, starts auto-attacking, sits through his spin, using the magic arm just to tank that spin, and doesn't give a damn, just attacks him down. So wow, Maximus, looks like Magebane definitely looking a lot stronger at this point than Swiftblade.
Oh yeah, it appears that way, but in saying that, Swiftblade had just had a conflict with Pharaoh, so he wasn't completely topped up. He had some stuff on cooldown, so you know, a very good pick off of by Magebane there, but I wouldn't be giving it to him just yet.
Fair enough. I found it interesting that Swiftblade decided to stay and fight rather than trying to retreat. That was kind of, I don't know, honestly, even though he was kind of screwed, I would have tried to run. But it looks like we've got 4 players from the Hellborn porting top. So it looks like the Giraffe Hunters not too happy about having their carry taken out. They've all ported top to defend him, as Magebane is now just running around in the neutrals. Looks like he's getting his farm on. There's a triple stack camp here, as he is now, looks like this is what he wanted the Battle Fury for. The Ruined Axe, sorry. He's picked up Lifesteal and the Ruined Axe, and he's now just taking in this taking this camp out quite easily, although he's taking a fair bit of damage. In the same time, as just scrolling up to top, Hammerstorm getting chased around by Hag. Hag's picked up a haste. Pharaoh ults in, catches him in the mummies. Voodoo Jester drops the mojo, drops the stun. Hammerstorm is ulted, he's smacking Pharaoh. Voodoo Jester's ult comes out. Hag ults. Flint wades into the fight, drops his flare, drops his ult. Doesn't quite manage to get the ult off though. Hag manages to break it. She's got the haste out, so she managed to get herself out of range before Flint could finish the ult. But wow, what about that action, Blood?
Yeah, that was a lucky escape there by Hag, as we saw the ultimate come out by Flint Beastwood, but just got cancelled in time by the Hag. And we see the Hellborn team pushing mid tower now with Hag only to defend, and Glacier's coming in for some support now.
I think it was good work by Hammerstorm, realising that he had help close by, and then Voodoo Jester coming to his aid, and then Hammerstorm realising he had help, and then just deciding to stand his ground and take the fight to them, and it worked out for him. He's he hasn't got anything either. He's just got plain boots and a power supply. As Magebane takes out a tower at bottom, so the first tower's gone down at the bottom lane for the Hellborn team. So Maximus looks like Magebane kind of getting away here. Do you think that Witchslayer is probably the best bet of taking him out? Do you think he should probably get in a bit more and try and kill Magebane?
Well, the first tower being taken out by the carry who has been in the solo bot is really testament to the fact that these guys aren't taking Magebane seriously enough at all. The fact that he can just be down there that amount of time, that he can get the first tower without any sort of opposition whatsoever, you just have to think that Giraffe Hunters aren't quite paying enough attention to him that they should be. I mean, he's sitting at 440 gold per minute right now, which is much larger than you'd want it this early in the game especially.
Indeed, as we see Voodoo Jester getting caught out there in mid, just getting smacked down by Hag there, but then Hag getting cleaned up by Flint Beastwood and a nice counter stun from Hammerstorm, so looks like it's pretty tit for tat at the moment as far as the ganking goes. The Legion team sits on 8 kills, the Hellborn sits on 7, so it's pretty even, but of course Magebane farming up a storm. He's sitting on 449 GPM at the moment, while his rival, his closest rival, Swiftblade, is only on 360. As I see Thermodon trying to catch out Swiftblade with a magic up. Swiftblade gets a stun out, tries for a weed field, just rushing up there with waveform, but Swiftblade managed to dodge it with enhanced marches, just getting out of the way quickly. And now it looks like Hammerstorm is the one who's free farming bottom though. Pharaoh is harassing him, but Hammerstorm dropping an ult for God knows what reason there, just decides he wants to pop that ult. Do you have any idea, Maximus, why he might have dropped that ult just then?
Yeah, there you go. Just as you just saw in chat there, seems as though he misclicked it. I'd say that he was going for the armor buff, or the galvanize, I think it's called. Just trying to get that so he could just move up a little bit, and ended up accidentally clicking the his ultimate.
As it looks like Magebane has been seen, they're finally going to try and gank him, although they mess it up there. Swiftblade leading for some reason instead of Witchslayer, and Magebane just blinking away, just easy as you please. And looks like Swiftblade has maybe seen, I don't know, can he see him there? I think he can see him. No? Yes, he must be able to see him. What is he doing? As Magebane blinks in onto the other side, Flint Beastwood getting smashed by Hag and Pharaoh and Magebane. Swiftblade, though, drops the ult, doesn't quite manage to finish Magebane. There he does. The stun goes out from Witchslayer, and then Swiftblade manages to finish him off. I think Hag managed to slip away there as another Minimize comes out. As the Mana Drain goes out. Hag also, Voodoo Jester goes down, Witchslayer goes down, and now Swiftblade in a lot of trouble, getting smacked around by Hag, getting hit by Tormented Soul. He's being chased by Glacier, so blocking his teammates there. Just his Strider's on cooldown, so just managing to slow his teammates down. Looks like Swiftblade's going to get away here, a little bit speedy. Hag's out of mana, so she can't drop any more screams. Although Glacier's finally catching up, although he's not dropping any spells. What is he doing? He needs to lead with, yes, there we go. He managed to get the Tundra Blast off, and then Hag finishing him up there. Although Hammerstorm dropping a stun on Hag, and then cleaning her up with a nicely timed ultimate, as Pharaoh drops the mummies to push Hammer away, and then the Magic Harp comes out, and then Glacier's trying to catch out Hammerstorm. The Tormented Soul comes out, doing some more damage, but I think he's going to get away here as Voodoo Jester ports into top, managing to scare the Legion team off. So wow, that was a bit of a running battle there. So Blood, who do you think came out on top there? There's a lot of casualties on both teams.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of action there. I would have to say the Hellborn team actually, because they actually took out Magebane, and we see then we get Myrmidon taken out, and quite possibly, yes, Glacier's taken out as well. So that was a genocide there by the Hellborn team.
Yes, a genocide. As I called the end of the action prematurely there, as it kept going, in fact. And of course, they got an all-important kill on Magebane. Finally, they managed to take down Magebane. I think Switchblade dropping it ult while Witchslayer stunned him was finally what managed to take him out. But I'm just looking down bottom. Looks like Hag is porting bottom. And I'm just going to look at the gold per minutes now. Switchblade sitting on 339. So he's dropped a little bit. And then as well as Magebane's also dropping a little bit down to 430. So it looks like both teams came out fairly even there. Although I'm looking at the kills though. It looks like the Hellborn still one kill behind. It's 12-11. So quite tight work. Although nice. It was a nice end game there from the Giraffe Hunters managing to catch out a few heroes, chasing them back to base. So Maximus, what do you make of this so far? Do you think Hammerstorm looks like he's managed to catch up a little bit on farm perhaps? He's now sitting on, he's managed to pick up some Steam Boots now.
Oh yeah, you know, definitely, but he's definitely got a bit more farm, but still not as much as I'm sure he would have liked considering he was left as a solo lane to farm. He just had a lot of trouble against that Magebane early on.
Yeah,
definitely. I definitely think he'll recover slowly now, as he seems to be getting a bit more farm and seems to be getting a bit of items that'll help him farm. So I think we'll see him up around the 300 gold per minute mark in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He's only on 188 at the moment, so he's really got a ways to go. But Flint Beastwood also not looking too healthy on the farm scale. He's only on 276, and he's under that 300, that sort of bare minimum 300 for a carry. So hopefully he can step in. Then again, they've only got Magebane to carry them. So if they can just, I think, if they can just drag this out a little bit, they can possibly take it away to win Giraffe Hunters. But I don't know, Maximus, do you think they should probably try and play defensive at this point?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that the Giraffe Hunters have the best team here, the best late game team. I think that unless they can, if they keep sort of dying and getting picked off, that they're going to have a lot of trouble. I think they need to sort of stay defensive, keep farming, try and stop Magebane if they can, and then just gotta sort of take it a bit later game. Because at this stage, I'd have to give it to the Legion with their current farm and Magebane's huge farm.
Indeed. As it looks like Switchblade getting caught out here, getting hit by the Magic Up, getting frozen by Glacius, but spinning out of the freeze, just managing to cancel there, not quite getting finished off. It looks like Hag is being chased by an invisible Flint Beastwood here, having used an invisibility rune. He's he's deciding not to scout for his team. He's rolling back to his own team side. He's still got about 30 seconds left on that invisibility. As Voodoo Jester copying a Tormented Soul and a Magic Carp there, just getting smacked around a little bit, as we're now waiting for a bit of action to erupt, as we've got a lot of players hanging around mid. We've got an invisible Flint Beastwood, so he's an ace in the hole at the moment for the Legion, for the Hellborn team. So it's going to be, will they try and press the advantage? Yes, they do. Flint Beastwood drops out his flare. Switchblade ults on top of Pharaoh, but he gets knocked onto some other players as Glacius goes down to an ult and then gets spun. Myrmidon getting a good start there, catching Hammerstorm and Voodoo Jester. Switchblade getting down very low. Hammerstorm getting taken out. And then Witchslayer's ult coming out on top of Hag. Hag getting blown away. So for the Legion team, only Myrmidon and Magebane are left standing, while Switchblade just managed to get away there. I think he only just got clipped, maybe just got missed by Hag's ult there. So, Blood, what did you see in that fight? Did Switchblade almost get hit by that ult, or did he get cleaned up by it?
No, the Hag ult completely missed Switchblade then. We see Magebane just a couple of minutes ago pick up the Blacking Bar, and in that fight, he didn't really use it well then. He used it quite early and didn't use it effectively.
Indeed. So he's level 17 though, so he is quite a way ahead of the enemy team. Sitting on level 17, his closest person behind him is a level 15 Swiftblade. So on the Hellborn team, none of their players have managed to pick up their level 3 ults yet. We've got level 14 for half-assed Flint Beastwood. We've got level 9s. We've got level 9 Voodoo Jester and Witchslayer. And then level 16, there we go, Swiftblade finally picking up to level 16. So he's got his third level ult, and Hammerstorm level 13. On the other hand, we're looking at the Legion team, level 9 Myrmidon, level 10 Pharaoh, so hasn't even got level 2 ult yet. Bob playing Glacier is still on level 7, so he's way behind. We've got Magebane level 17, Hag on level 14. As Wheatfield catches out Voodoo Jester, Hag letting up the scream. Looks like the ult is coming out on Myrmidon. Myrmidon getting cleaned up by Flint Beastwood's ult. Although Magebane wades in the fight with his Shrunken Head activated, and then both Voodoo Jester and I think it was Witch Slayer went down. Then both the squishy supports get picked off. Glacius so getting pounded by Flint Beastwood, ices himself but gets taken down as Hammerstorm also popped his ult during that fight. So it looks like the Legion team getting smacked around a bit now. Do you think, Maximus, do you think the Hellborn just have better coordination here, or they just got a better lineup? As it looks like Maximus has possibly dropped out as the middle tower goes down. So I'll just pass the question over to you, Blood. What do you make of that fight? It looks like the Hellborn team, even though their carry isn't looking as fat as Magebane, they're coming out on top. Do you think they're just coordinating better, or they just have a better lineup?
Yeah, they coordinated really well then, and their lineup is very, very strong with the combination of the stuns. But we do see Magebane just still farming ahead of Swiftblade, so I'm not sure if Swiftblade's going to catch up to this Magebane, but we'll have to see later on.
Indeed. So it looks like them, just having a look at the towers now, we've got the Hellborn still have their first mid tower up, but they've only lost the first bottom tower. Everything else is still up. However, the Legion have lost their first towers in the top lane and the middle lane now. So it looks like the Hellborn team, Giraffe Hunters are coming back here, and if they can just keep up this pace, they can probably get ahead. As Bob is now counter warding and warding bottom, Hag picking up an invisibility rune bottom, just shoving that into her bottle. So she's probably gonna get a good gank off later if she can find somebody out. If she can find someone to line up on. As Witch Slayer looks like he's just farming mid here. I'm not sure about that. Probably could give it to a more valuable hero, really, as we've got Flint Beastwood retreating back to the base at the moment. So Swiftblade here, though, it looks like he's not stacking, trying to stack, failing to stack. Not sure what he's doing there at the Hellborn Ancients, as he looks like he has failed to stack, I think. Maximus, do you think he's screwed that up there?
Oh, it definitely appeared as though he seemed to have pulled them out, realized that he wasn't going to get the stack after he pulled it out at the wrong time, and just ended up just going, oh well, whatever, I'm just going to just clean up these. Oh, here we go, Magebane and Swiftblade going at it here. Looks like, there we go. Swiftblade getting cleaned up. Not much health. I don't know why he chose to stay in that fight when it was clear that he wasn't going to win, because if he'd moved away a little bit, there's a very good chance, seeing as he had team on the way, he would have survived, so I can't really see why he would have stayed that fight.
Yeah, he probably should have just tried to kite a bit more. Of course, he was right next to a couple of really good juke spots. He could have used that to get away. As Hammerstorm looks like he's being attacked at top. Pharaoh gets a good ult off, a nice blind ult there. As Myrmidon following up with his disables. Hammerstorm dropping his ult, pounding away on Pharaoh. Pharaoh losing a lot of health. Pharaoh got to run away here, although Hammerstorm also low. Hag is there coming up to reinforce his teammates. So Hammerstorm dropping a good portal as Myrmidon drops his magic up, but doesn't manage to stun him out of it. So Hammerstorm very well played there, making Pharaoh back the hell out of that fight and then porting away sneakily. So Blood, do you think he could have played that any better? That was quite well done.
No, that was really good play there by Hammerstorm. He said to Pharaoh, just come at me, and he dropped the ult, and Pharaoh just couldn't really take it. And Hammerstorm wasn't scared of him, so yeah, that was a good play there by the Hammerstorm. And we see Major now pick up the Axe of Malefist, and with in combination of the Whispering Helm, so he's obviously going for the Symbol of Rage. Wow,
he's looking quite fat. I'm just looking at Flint Beastwood items. He's managed to pick up a Frostburn, and he's also got a Blessed Orb, so I think he's going to split that into a Geometer's Bane and a Frostwall Skull. So it looks like we've got a little bit of action here about to happen at top. As Witch Slayer comes out of invisibility, drops a stun on top of Myrmidon, and then drops the ult, and then I think, indeed, Swiftblade managed to clean it up. KS like a 5 HP enemy with his ult, but then managed to spin over onto Glacius and luckily managed to bounce over onto Glacius and Magebane and do some damage as Pharaoh gets taken out by Flint Beastwood there. So nice work. I heard his ult go off, but not managing to get him away there. As it looks like we've got an invisible Hag wandering around the Hellborn team here, just scouting them out. And again, 3 Legion players getting taken out there. That was a nice use of invisibility with Witch Slayer. Set up a great kill for his carry, and then of course managed to take out both supports there. Bob looking very underfarmed. Maximus, do you think Bob could afford to be a little less underfarmed at this point, because he's looking very squishy, very weak at this point in time?
Yeah, at this stage he's sort of, because of that start that he did, sort of wasting a little bit of time down at bottom. I'm not sure what they were even trying to do down there. They seem to be pulling creeps and stacking, but I don't know why it required two of them to sort of sit around doing nothing when they could have been setting up game. But yeah, he definitely at this stage is just sort of free feed for heroes like Flint Beastwood and Hammerstorm, who can kill him in 2 to 3 hits. It's really it's not a good move for the Legion team to have someone so squishy.
Yes, well, it looks like he's still trying to finish up a Gnome's Wisdom. Honestly, if I was him, I would have picked up a Bracer, like just, started building Bracers. Blood, what do you think? Do you think you would have kept trying to build that Gnome's Wisdom or just pick up some defensive items?
No, I would have picked up a Bracer, as you said, just to get some more HP. We see a gank here going to happen, but no, the Hellborn team back off there.
Yes, that ward, the spot the Aussies placed, I believe it watches both the Ancients and the Rune. I think it watches both of them, and Pharaoh just giving away that attack though with the Tormented Soul probably shouldn't have done that, just gave away the gank, and then the Hellborn team realising they needed to back off after Pharaoh dropped that Tormented Soul. And as I'm just looking at the GPMs at the moment, Magebane is sitting up on 483, Swiftblade on 374, and then half-assed with Flint Beastwood. Captain Flint Beastwood has managed to boost his GPM up above the 300 mark finally. He's up to 300 now, but of course the Legion team getting a bit behind on kills now. It's now 17 to 20 in the Hellborn's favour, as it looks like Flint may have been spotted by the enemy team here, although he's initiated, gets hit by the Magic Harp, gets hit by the Wheatfield, now he's being hit by Flag, getting hit by Hag, gets dotted, gets ulted by Pharaoh, nice ult, and then Voodoo Jester drops his ult as well. Swiftblade ulting Pharaoh, getting smashed. Pharaoh gets smashed by that Swiftblade ult. Magebane now getting into the fight, tanking Swiftblade spin and then just smacking down some damage on him. But it looks like a nice try by Flint Beastwood, but a backfired. And then Hag dotting, getting his bat out on Voodoo Jester, and then Voodoo Jester taking a scream, although Hag has picked up a Nullstone, and Hammerstorm's stun gets bounced off. Voodoo Jester, though, getting pounded by Magebane, and then finally cleaned up by Hag there, just jumping on top of him with the scream. So it looks like the Legion team getting back into the action here. It looks like they're going to go on the offensive. Blood, do you think they should try and push down this tower, though it looks like they're backing off?
Yeah, they should. They're going for Kong now, and Major in that fight was a bit late to the party going in there. And yeah, they're going for Kong, but the Hellborn have wards up there, so yes, and the Hellborn team are moving down to Kong now. But we might see Kong go taken down just before they come, and Kong goes at half HP, so yeah, Kong should be taken down just before the Hellborn team get there.
Well, Hellborn missing 2 players, so they're not going to be able to take on the Legion team, but yeah, it looks like Magebane has finished his Symbol of Rage, and he's going to get that token, so he's going to be really, really difficult to stop now. And Hag, finally having picked up an item, has that Nullstone now, so she's actually effective in a fight. Hammerstorm dropping a stun, but getting pounded on by Magebane here. Hammerstorm has his own shrunken head though, but it's no good. Magebane just chops his way through. Swiftblade getting ulted by Pharaoh. The Wheatfield goes out, but it doesn't affect Swiftblade because he's still spinning. Pharaoh deciding to back off. Swiftblade also on low HP backing off. Hag gets stunned by Witchslayer. Now we've got Flint Beastwood wading into the fight. Swiftblade goes down. We've got the Voodoo Jester ult coming out and the stun coming out. Magebane though pounding away on Voodoo Jester, has his shrunken head up. He's no match. Voodoo Jester is no match for him. Flint Beastwood also getting pushed out of the fight, having to back off. Pharaoh though getting shot up by Flint Beastwood, gets taken down by Flint Beastwood, although Magebane looks like he's going to try and take down Flint, but no, he's backing off. He's deciding it's not worth the fight, as it looks like Glacius finally managed to live through a fight there. So, Maximus, what do you make of this turn of events? It looks like the Legion team are back in action.
Yes, it certainly does. Obviously, Magebane just getting that huge fight has really sort of started showing with that Symbol of Rage pickup, and now a Dancing Blade with token. He's going to be very hard to stop now. It's going to be interesting to see how the Hellborn team tries to counter this Magebane. There's not a whole lot they can do against him at this stage. They've sort of... Swiftblade has lost the farm race with only 350 gold per minute, while Magebane's sitting at a huge 505 gold per minute.
Yeah, he is pretty much unstoppable at this point, although Hammerstorm finally managing to have picked up... pick up his shrunken head. At this point, I think their best bet would be a Nullfire Blade, so they can purge off both the Symbol of Rage and the that shrunken head on Magebane. Both the Symbol of Rage and the shrunken head on Magebane would help them out a fair bit, but it looks like it's not going to happen at this stage. But I'm just looking at Flint Beastwood. He has picked up the Geometer's Bane, and he's possibly farming his way towards a Frostwolf Skull. But I think at the moment, if Cash Money Heroes decide to press their advantage, they've got the token, they've got a hell farm Mage Bane. The enemy team are nowhere close to them in farm. They're behind on gold, behind on experience. So with that token, if they press the advantage now, just drive straight up mid and take that tower. I think they've got this one in the bag. Blood, what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. And we see Glacius finally pick up a Bracer and finish off his Gnome's Wisdom there. But yeah, Mage Bane looking pretty unstoppable at the moment. We see a push here at top tower. They should be able to take that down with no trouble at all.
Yeah, it's just Mage Bane chewing his way through it, and then Hammerstorm unwisely is deciding to stay around, although no, he's got backup from Swiftblade and Voodoo Jester. Swiftblade dropping his ult, Voodoo Jester dropping a stun, and then Hag dropping her ult on top of Voodoo Jester. Voodoo Jester getting pounded. Hammerstorm managing to drop his ult. He's pounding on top of Mage Bane, but it's not going to work at the moment. Glacius' freeze comes out, the ult comes out from Glacius, and it looks like Flint Beastwood has waded into the fight, although he's getting taken out here at the moment, I think. As Pharaoh has also dropped his ult in, Witchslayer backing off from the fight. It looks like, no, it wasn't Flint Beastwood who went down. One of his illusions got taken out. Hag taking a lot of damage here from Flint. Gets pounded by his flare. Gets pounded by his ult, but he gets away on 150 HP. I think it was Witchslayer just went down there. As Mage Bane finally decides to back off. Now they're just going to go for the tower push here. As it looks like they are pretty much unstoppable. It looks like Cash Money Heroes have got this one in the bag. Don't you say, Maximus?
Oh, certainly. At this stage, there's very little they can do with a nice almost genocide like that. And even though they didn't really have the perfect initiation, Mage Bane being targeted by almost everything, got the voodoo dot on it, and still just Symbol of Raging and just damaging through all the healing up through all the damage that he was taking. As you can see here, just him taking out Voodoo Jester in 4 hits. At this stage, it looks like they're going to get the racks, and that'll probably be the end of this game.
Yeah, I think that was possibly a pretty silly move from Voodoo Jester. Shouldn't have gone all the way up there when he knows Mage Bane is going to be hanging around, and he's quite fat. But I think, Blood, did you see Myrmidon involved in that fight at top at all? Because I think he's been solo pushing the bottom the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was just been sitting at bottom just trying to push up that tower, and he got the tower kill at bottom. But as we saw before, none of the Legion team got taken down. Only with 4 players top, they still managed to nearly get a genocide off.
Yes, that Mage Bane being ridiculously farmed, and Myrmidon porting back to mid. Looks like they're gonna... No, they messed up the deny. They just let the creep take it. That was kind of embarrassing. But hopefully it's not really going to matter at this point because Mage Bane's so damn fat. Darkslayer so far ahead there. So he's just picked up the Ancients again. He's finished up his Wingbow at the moment, so he's got a fair bit of cash. He's got no space for anything at the moment with that token in his inventory. As it looks like he's jumping on top of Swiftblade, just pounding away on him. Swiftblade trying to spin out of it, although it's not going to really do anything for him. Not really sure why he decided to spin just then. As Voodoo Jester jumping back in, dropping the stun and the cursed ground on top of Mage Bane, but Mage Bane deciding to back off. Not managed to get stunned by Hammer. Hammer, I think, just had his line of sight cut. Maximus, did you see that happen just then?
Yeah, Mage Bane managed to just sort of get into the line of sight just long enough to blink out of there, get out of range. Even still, had he gotten stunned, I wouldn't have been too worried. I think he was going to be okay with 2.3 KHP, Shrunken Head off cooldown, and his Symbol of Rage and token. I don't think I just think their team is going to have a lot of trouble stopping him, even with half their team still fighting him. He's got to the point where he's just almost unstoppable, almost unkillable. So there's really not a lot this team can do at this point.
As we see some action break out at mid, Hag jumping on top of Hammerstorm, Hammerstorm dropping his Shrunken Head, and then Swiftblade jumping back to the fight, dropping his ultimate on top of Myrmidon. Myrmidon going down there. Hammerstorm dropping his ult, but he's getting pounded down to really low HP. Gets cleaned up by Hag's ultimate there, I think. Yes, it was Hag's ult. Witchslayer going down as well. I think Swiftblade indeed also got taken out. Split Beast were getting frozen by Glacius. Voodoo Jester trying to stun Mage Bane, but it not happening. And then Glacius... Sorry, Flip Beastwood getting taken down, and then Voodoo Jester getting pounded down as the concede comes out from Giraffe Hunters. So, looks like Cash Money Heroes taking out the first round in this grudge match. So we'll just go off the air, and then we'll get back into game 2.